I'm Theo.
And I'm Juliet.
And this is Apologies Accepted.
We offer an entertaining look at some of the big issues in history by examining public apologies of the famous and infamous.
We're looking at politicians, serial killers, actors, and you.
Send us a public apology you would like to make, and we'll read it on the air and give you a chance to redeem yourself or just get some guilt off your shoulders.
We're here for you. Once a week, maybe more if you're really, really sorry.
Three, two, one, go. Hi, everybody. This is Apologies Accepted,
the podcast.
And I'm not Theo this week, thank God.
Yeah. And I'm not Juliet this week. Tears, tears, tears. How I wish I were.
Well, maybe you can tell us what's shaking bacon.
So I have come back out to the Amityville Horror, also known as our house in Palm Springs. And I am now working through another issue related to a stupid water leak that happened 3 weeks ago at this point, and replacing a bunch of stuff that got damaged. And
at least it's not actually haunted, though. Like you said, the Amityville Horror, but at least you don't have ghosts. Can you imagine how bad that would be? You can't just replace ghosts.
Well, I think you could. Oh, that reminds me. Yes, you could. You could. It's an exorcism, or you get some witches and they do a casting spell, or you find a dwarf psychic.
Get the Pope.
Sorry, a little person psychic. And they come over and tell everybody to go into the TV set. Like, there's ways to get rid of ghosts. But that absolutely does remind me. Look how quick I want to move on from the stupid house bullshit.
Go for it.
Cry and tear my hair out. Like this pile of bricks. So, unfortunately, Pope Francis is ill. Or,
yes.
I was going to say, or fortunately. No. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. I wish the man no ill. So, Pope Francis is in the hospital, reportedly with maybe pneummonia, respiratory issues, not doing well.
Yeah.
And they've already started talking about, they being social media, right? Because bitches can't wait to cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the new pope and the next pope and who's going to be the pope. And I'm casting my vote for the pope in Jerusalem because he would be Pope Pizzaballa.
That's his name?
Pizzaballa.
Wow.
Pizzab. You know he's going to be Pope Pizza.
His name is actually Pizza something?
Pizzaballa. Bolla.
Pizza Ball.
I had to Google it because it's on social media. I saw it on Reddit or something, and they were like, "Oh, Pizzaballa," and I was like, "Oh, no, it's not." Yeah, yep.
Wow.
He's a cardinal, so he could be elected should Pope Francis die. But there's that prophecy that there's going to be X number of popes, and it's like an important Catholic prophecy. It's all Catholic prophecies are important.
Yeah.
And I think Pope Francis is the last pope.
The last pope ever?
According to this prophecy, there were going to be something like, and I don't know. So I'm going to make this number up right now, right? But there were going to be 300 popes, and he's number 300.
I see. Okay.
And so it's kind of like the Mayan 2012 thing when their calendar ended, like at the end of the world. Well, everything did kind of go to shit after 2012, so.
Kind of.
All golden before then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good luck to Pope Francis.
Well, yes, good luck to Pope Francis.
We wish him good luck as we do all popes. Yes.
Yes, we are such good Catholics. Anyway, so I'm going to say enough of my nonsense. What about you? What's shaking bacon?
Well, I wrote my notes for this podcast 3 weeks ago because we skipped a couple of weeks because this, that, and the other thing was going on, and so my bacon says migraine, and I vaguely remember having had a 3-day migraine 3 weeks ago. So that was going on at the time. Other than that, I think that absolutely nothing has happened between then and now. I haven't had any more migraines, which is nice. I'm going to get my hair cut today, which is totally exciting. I get to go leave the house and go do something somewhere outside the house. Maybe go wander around the Castro a little bit and feel out of place. But that's good for me to feel out of place as a white person, right? So yeah, not really that much going on. And I guess we can just jump into the story if you're ready.
Let us jump into this story, because what a story to come back to return to the air with. I mean,
yeah.
Let's hit it.
All right. Parker Alexander, who is CEO of the apparel brand Tahoe Heartbeat, and they call themselves an apparel brand, but they seem to mostly make hats like snapbacks. He posted some comments on social media a few weeks ago in response to a letter from Tahoe School Superintendent Todd Cutler on federal immigration policies. Todd Cutler had written in support of making schools a safe place for students to learn and grow, and stated that, quote, "Our efforts will be to protect the rights of all students and keep them safe while under our care. All of our families are welcome at our schools," which you'd think would be a non-controversial statement.
And something you'd want to hear from a guy that runs a school where you're sending your kids to. It's nice to know that your own children to be welcome there. Yeah.
Right. Totally. Yes, you'd want your schools to be a safe place, you'd think. Parker Alexander, CEO of Tahoe Heartbeat, responded on Facebook, of course, where else, saying, "Since when is it the school's obligation to make kids feel safe at school when their parents are criminals?" I'm sorry.
I love that he just thought this was okay. Like, just start with that and
blaming people for being criminals. Sure, they should feel safe. That's an inherent part of schooling these days. But more so, they should be told why they are part of a bigger issue. When a kid is in danger at home, they don't make the kid feel any kind of safe. They take them from the parents. They put them in foster care. And feeling safe is not the priority. Making them safe is the priority, without saying it. Well, when illegals have children in our school system, our systems inherently become less safe. That's just the reality. We don't owe these children anything. Yeah, we should be kind and compassionate, but we should absolutely explain to each child, your parents are criminals here illegally, and this is what's going to happen. We're done turning a blind eye as a country. Is it until an illegal shoots up the school, an illegal doesn't toilet paper your house, rather lights it on fire, or an illegal murders your child in class? Then how will you react? This issue is very real, and these illegally bred children will grow up with the influence of their criminal parents. We have to cut the dragon's head off at the head. That cracks me up. The kids also have to go, with compassion, with care, with kindness, but they have to go as well. Yeah,
you have to go with compassionate. I'm going to hug you the fuck out of this country. I'm sorry. Right. It's so mockable. It's so fucking stupid.
It's so bad. Yes, it's sad. Yes, it's not ideal, but it's real. It's a security threat, and it's criminal from the top. If their parents weren't criminals, they wouldn't be here in the first place. That's all, not complicated. Stop with the soft-ass bullshit. You're a criminal, you're prosecuted. You're a descendant of a criminal, you're managed. That's it. Nothing wrong with it. That's called doing our job as a country. And that's what Parker Alexander, CEO of Tahoe Heartbeat, had to say.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Kelly Escobedo, who's the owner of Sessions Salon in Tahoe, responded to Parker Alexander's comments. She managed to do it before they were deleted 18 minutes later. Good for her. She said, "A brand that claims to be the heartbeat of a town should stand for unity, love, and community. Instead, we watched as one in particular revealed their true colors, spewing hate, dehumanizing immigrants, and calling our children illegally bred, among much, much more. This isn't just offensive, it's dangerous. It fuels the very racism and division so many fight against every day. No business, no brand, no individual who spreads that kind of hate deserves to represent our community." But here's the thing about hate. It collapses under the weight of its own ignorance. A heartbeat poisoned by prejudice can only last so long before it flatlines. Real strength comes from inclusion, not exclusion. Let's be clear, this isn't about politics. This isn't about difference of opinion. This is about a person who genuinely believes that immigrants and their children are violent threats, that they don't belong, and that they deserve to be feared and hated. This is about a business that wants our support while looking down on the very people who make up our community. As a mother of half Mexican children with immigrant family members, I refuse to stand by while someone dehumanizes them. I refuse to give my business, my respect, or my silence to anyone who spreads this kind of hate. And I call on my community to do the same. To those who believe in real community, pay attention. The wolves in sheep's clothing are among us, pretending to be about love while preaching division. As a result of Escobedo's posts, social media posts showed people throwing away or burning their Tahoe Heartbeat hats and calling for people to stop buying from Tahoe Heartbeat. Parker Alexander initially responded with derision to the post, saying, "You think posting on here can stop a multi-million-dollar company? You're part of the problem. That's called free speech," claiming that Tahoe Heartbeat had received $10,000 in sales after his initial post. However, the backlash had begun, and a long list of local and regional organizations dropped Tahoe Heartbeat's products, including the Reno Tahoe International Airport, which is in Reno. So it's not just purely local.
No, and and this is the thing that drives me crazy. It's like, okay, you said something shitty and people got upset, but you made some sales. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Some racists out there heard you were in trouble, and so
Allegedly.
they spent $20 on a hat. Oh, you mean allegedly they were racist, or allegedly?
No, allegedly they made the sales.
Oh, well, yeah, and there's that too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's like, I made 10,000 in sales. Well, if you're a multi-million-dollar company, you wouldn't really be bragging about $10,000 in sales.
Yeah.
But regardless, honey, that's a one-time, oh, I feel bad for you. I'm going to show you my support, brother Klansman, right? And I'm going to buy a hat from you. But they're gone in a month. They're not going to be buying hats from you all the time. Yeah. I just like, sometimes you just want to beat your head against the wall.
People are so dumb sometimes. It is unbelievable. So we could talk about the apology, unless you'd like to contribute anything in particular to the discussion, in addition to what you've already contributed. Thank you very much.
All the fabulous, amazing insight that I've had. So I have a list of 10 CEOs who have said shit that got in trouble for, and I feel like we could maybe do that after the apology, or we could do it now if you want. I mean,
we can do it after.
Okay. The only other thing is I did find an interview that's on YouTube from 23 where he's having a conversation with a guy who's a brand specialist, and he's talking about the Heartbeat brand and how he came to be a hat maker, right?
Uh-huh.
And it seems perfectly reasonable guy in this video from 23, right? So 3 years ago, he's talking about hats and how he got into hats. He had a girlfriend when he was in junior high school who taught him how to knit beanies, right? And he was like, in Tahoe, it's cold and you need to pass the winter. So I learned to knit beanies, and that helped me understand how hats need to fit people's heads. And then he talked about he wanted to be a filmmaker. So he went to film school. Okay, number one, you're into fashion. Number two, you're into art. You wanted to be a filmmaker. Number three, you went to a film school in San Francisco. Mistake number one, you shouldn't have gone to San Francisco film school. Go to LA, but whatever, right? Very liberal area. None of the ideas around progressive thinking ever crossed your radar enough to know that as much as you might hate undocumented people who are creating all the problems in our country, you're just going to like say your shit out. How could you be that dumb? But it was. However, in the video where he's talking about hats, again, he comes off as very measured and very reasonable, and he should just kind of keep it at that.
Yeah.
Keep it at the hat talk and don't get into politics.
Good advice, I think.
Well, too late for him now.
Too late for him now. He issued several different apologies. One of the first ones, or the first one, was on Facebook, and he said, "I am in no way racist." One of my...
When you have to say that, you're already racist.
If you've got to say it, exactly. It's anyway,
some of my best friends are black.
So, one of my top team members is undocumented.
Some of my best friends are black. The new
and
form
whom I
of
love
that.
Dearly. I'm sorry. I still love you all. Even Kelly Escobedo. That's my hope.
Let me special love shout out to Kelly.
That's right. He also wrote, "The internet is a crazy place. Some people will take your statements and turn it into something completely out of context. The hate these people have ensued on me, my business, and my character is absolutely despicable."
Oh, I know.
Craziness.
It's that what the response
They
to your
twisted his
words were
words.
despicable.
Unbelievable. Yeah. The Tahoe Daily Tribune later contacted Parker Alexander, who sent an email with this statement. Dear Tahoe friends, family, and community, I want to apologize for my recent comments regarding immigration. This is a situation that affects many individuals and families, and while it's a divisive issue, I recognize how my words were poorly articulated and hurtful. To all who have been offended, including those who commented, I am listening and understand your displeasure and deeply regret how my insensitive message came across. Sincerely, Parker Alexander. It's getting better, improved a little bit, better
I
than
love the
saying,
sincerely.
right,
Nice. Best wishes.
right. On February 6th, he issued another apology, which, as far as I know, is his last apology. And he said, Dear Tahoe and beyond, when I formed Tahoe Heartbeat, it was with the intention of conveying to the Tahoe community the positive love and beauty of Lake Tahoe in a way that people could communicate this energy simply by wearing a cap emblazoned with a silhouette of the lake. At the time Tahoe Heartbeat was founded, I never imagined how positively the goodwill of the brand would be accepted by the Lake Tahoe community. I also never imagined how it would be received by everyone, regardless of where they came from. To this end, I also never thought about, nor did I realize how thoughtless words could within a matter of seconds so negatively impact those to whom I was attempting to reach with the exact opposite message. With this in mind, I wish to express my heartfelt and sincere apology to anyone my insensitive words may have impacted. And to those I have hurt, please accept this apology from one who has listened and heard the cries of those to whom I was tone deaf and had expressed myself both inappropriately and heartlessly. I have heard the message, and I am listening to the messenger, and want to assure everyone, no such insensitivity nor short-sightedness will ever again be evident from my words or behavior. Having said this, I have witnessed painfully and firsthand how much anger my words have caused. I ask now not only for your forgiveness, but to please tone down the anger and hostility, and instead reach out to our community with love and understanding, so as not to further fan the flames of my ignorance.
So
And,
much in that. We'll come back to it. Yes,
okay.
please.
And to all who I have hurt and disappointed, from this point on, I give you my word, I will work tirelessly to promote kindness, empathy, and the love reflected by Tahoe Heartbeat as part of the person I wish to be and the brand Tahoe Heartbeat was designed to reach. With humility, Parker Alexander.
Okay.
Mhm.
Man, all right. So I hate to say this. It's got all the boxes ticked, right? It's air quotes around a good apology.
It's definitely an
However,
improvement.
I mean, we'll hit the tick boxes, right? But the red flags within this apology for me,
Yes.
let's start with a quote here from it. No such insensitivity nor short-sightedness will ever again be evident from my words or behavior. Doesn't mean that you've changed your heart. It just means you're not going to show it now, right?
Yeah.
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 And then this is the piece that I love.
Mhm.
I ask now not only for your forgiveness, but to please tone down the anger and hostility. Don't be mad at me, everybody. Dare
Exactly.
you. I was mad at those undocumented people. And instead reach out to our community with love and understanding, which he was not willing to do for the undocumented community.
Right.
But this is the line, so as not to further fan the flames of my ignorance. Don't make me hate you more by being mean to me. My
Oh,
God.
that's funny.
Oh, my
I didn't even
God.
see that interpretation of that sentence, and that's really funny.
Oh, it really, I
You
mean,
to say that.
it is. And also, that's kind of the whole crux of the matter when dealing with these people, right?
Yeah.
And bringing these
Yeah.
arguments to them about, you want us to treat you with respect, but shouldn't you give respect to other people? And you disrespected people, so now you're getting disrespect back, right? And
Right.
it's that cycle of, well, you're disrespecting me, so that makes me angry. So
Right.
therefore, I'm just going to be more disrespectful. Jesus Christ. That's all I can fucking say.
People are so selfish.
He's got a
Um,
lot of fucking work to do.
yeah, he really does. So let's look at his the criteria. So expression of regret, not really. Kind of, but not really. More an expression of regret that he's being targeted now, which doesn't count.
That's very clear, yeah.
An explanation of what went wrong. No, he didn't say why he was such an asshole. Just born that way, I guess. Acknowledgement of responsibility. Yeah, he said he did what he did. So, okay. declaration of repentance, yes, he did say that he was sorry and he asked for forgiveness. No real offer of repair, although he did say he wasn't going to, like you said, no such insensitivity nor short-sightedness will ever again be evident from my words or behavior, but skeptical as to whether that's true. And request for forgiveness, yes, he did say, please, I ask now not only for your forgiveness, and please tone down the anger and hostility. So I don't believe that opinions like his are truly changed because of a backlash. I think his first response, which was mocking people and claiming free speech, was his genuine reaction. And the following responses were made out of a fear of damaging his brand and also a fear of the backlash itself, since he reported receiving some death threats. So I think he got scared and made an apology, and he wanted the anger and hostility to stop. So he said whatever he felt he had to say in order to make that happen.
I mean, I just still am completely at a loss for why on not even your own Facebook page.
Yeah.
Right? Not to say it's one thing if you post something shitty on your own Facebook page, but yeah, sure, it kind of is. But on somebody else's Facebook page to come in and rant about how undocumented people are destroying.
Yeah.
Or, why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
It's just a bad idea.
Don't know.
Honestly, you're so full of yourself that you think your opinions are
with all the shit that's going on in the world. It is 82 fucking degrees in February in Palm Springs.
Uh-huh.
It should not be 82 degrees in February.
Right.
There's global warming. There's so many more things that are way more important to be focused on. Whether or not somebody has a piece of paper to be in the country.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, well.
Ridiculous. So anyway, but we've got plenty to worry about in this country. So thanks, Parker Alexander, for contributing to the
moving things forward and making everyone feel safe. Good job.
All right. So do you have you wanted to talk about the CEOs?
Oh, yeah, right. Look how quickly I was all set to just let's move on. Yeah. So within the story, it was there's not really any social issue that I could think of to explore through this. It's pretty self-evident as to what's going on. So, but there's always a CEO that's opening their mouths and saying something, right? So here's a quick list. Some of these I remember, some of them I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Elon Musk, Tesla and Twitter, but not for the recent stuff. Musk has made multiple controversial statements, including calling a diver a pedo guy. Remember when he was yep. That was a long while ago. Smoking marijuana on the Joe Rogan Experience. I don't even feel like that. So what, right? And tweeting funding secured about taking Tesla private, which led to an SEC lawsuit. His handling of Twitter has also drawn backlash, causing advertisers to flee. How was all this resolved? Musk settled with the SEC, paid a fine, and stepped down as Tesla chairman. He also apologized for some remarks, but continues to make controversial statements, right? John Schnattner, Papa John's. I can't say his last name. Schnattner? I would just call him John. John blamed NFL player protests for declining pizza sales and later used a racial slur in a training call.
Oh, no.
Right? Listen, all you N-words, you better work harder. Come on.
Oh,
he resigned as CEO and later as chairman. Papa John's rebranded, and he was removed from company marketing because he used to be in their commercials. Travis Kalanick. Who's that? I don't know, but have you heard of a company called Uber?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Travis was caught on video berating an Uber driver and faced backlash for fostering a toxic work culture, including sexual harassment allegations and aggressive business tactics. He was forced to resign as CEO under pressure from investors.
Good.
Greg Glassman. Who? CrossFit and lazy writing. Your name is Glassman? Well, I guess Strongman would be even lazier. But Glassman? So fragile, you'll break like glass. Okay. Incident. In 2020, Glassman made insensitive remarks about George Floyd's death and dismissed concerns about systemic racism, leading to a backlash from affiliates and sponsors.
Good.
He stepped down as CEO and CrossFit was sold to new ownership. Mike Jeffries, this one, that name may ring a very faint bell, but when I say Abercrombie and Fitch, you will remember in the early 2000s, you could not walk anywhere without seeing somebody in Abercrombie and Fitch shirt.
Do remember, and I remember the advertising.
Yes, I remember the advertising too. They used to like those those commercials, those photos, that was nearly pornographic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, he stated at some point in the early 2000s that Abercrombie didn't market to overweight or unattractive people. How do you market to not attractive people? Okay. We don't market to ugly people. Get out of our store. So that led to a backlash over the brand's exclusionary policies. So Abercrombie had declining sales and he was forced to step down as CEO. There
I do remember that.
is a documentary on Netflix, which is absolutely compelling watching,
Okay.
that talks about the downfall of Abercrombie and Fitch, the rise and downfall. And it was very well done, super riveting. Oscar Munoz, United Airlines. Munoz defended United Airlines after a viral video showed a passenger being violently dragged off of a plane in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I seem to recall the guy was Asian. His initial response, that could have been a different guy who was dragged off a plane.
Yeah.
So his initial response, he blamed the passenger. After public outrage, he issued a full apology. United reversed its policies, and he stepped down as CEO. Bob Chapek, who? Disney. And basically, Florida passed a bill. DeSantis, the governor of Florida, was behind a bill, and it was called the Don't Say Gay bill. And Disney was real slow to come out and say, this isn't cool, guy. Come on, leave the schools alone. And his slow response pissed off progressives. And when he finally spoke, he managed to upset both sides. Critics of the bill felt he was too slow, and conservatives felt that saying anything at all was like supporting it. So boom, he was fired, and Bob Iger returned as Disney CEO to the tune of many millions of dollars more.
Oh.
James Dolan, Madison Square Garden, New York Knicks. He clashed with fans. Okay. Including banning a fan for yelling at him to sell the team. No, okay. He also used facial recognition technology to keep critics out of Madison Square Garden. And he means newspaper critics, but even still, he remains in power, but his reputation continues to suffer. I would say no, I haven't heard of him to make any sense to me now. Howard Schultz, Starbucks. Anti-union rhetoric angered Starbucks employees, and he dismissed concerns about unionization efforts. Let's see, Starbucks faced union battles and public criticism, leading Schultz to step down as CEO. And then this last one I've never heard of. Gina Reinhardt with Hancock Prospecting.
Okay.
But it's good. That's why I included it. The Australian mining billionaire, you know only good stuff is going to come out of a billionaire's mouth.
Yeah.
Made controversial comments about the poor needing to work harder and accepting lower wages.
Jeez.
You guys cost too much money and you're lazy. She also faced backlash for suggesting people in Africa worked for less than $2 a day.
Oh, my God.
She did not step down because she's a billionaire. She didn't have to. But her public image took a hit and her company distanced itself from her statements.
Interesting.
So Parker Alexander is not the only CEO. And there's so many more. So many more. I'm sure I've missed some real obvious ones. But yeah, so that's my segment of CEOs behaving badly.
I bet you could go on for a while.
I'll bet they've all said something stupid at some point publicly.
Yeah.
So, well, okay. Speaking of segments, I think it's time for our Who's Sorry Now or Apology Expected.
Yeah, I have an apology expected. And it is a new analysis by independent automotive blog Fuel Arc suggests that fire fatalities are 17 times more likely in a Cybertruck than in the infamous Ford Pinto. Fuel Arc arrives at that conclusion by comparing the total units sold so far, comparing reported fire fatalities for both. At the current rate of horrible fiery deaths, Fuel Arc projects the Cybertruck will have 14.52 fatalities per 100,000 units, far eclipsing the Pinto's 0.85. So that's many times more deaths per 100,000, which deserves an apology, in my opinion. And that's just one of the many things Elon Musk should apologize for. But if he wants to start there, that'll be fine. How about you? Do you have an apology expected, or who's sorry now?
I have an apology expected /
Okay.
psychic prediction. And
Oh,
color me crazy, but we will be hearing from Target soon. Yes. So shopping basically is down 10%. Apparently, there's been a 22% decline in earnings over there, clearly linked to Target distancing itself from DEI. And sure, they took their DEI program and they rebranded it as something like being the center of the bullseye, which sounds bad. Like,
scary.
aren't you already the center of the bullseye if you're different? But
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Anyway,
that's something you don't want to be.
Hi, right? Or
Right.
maybe I misread it and I'm misremembering it. It could be that. Because as I say that, it's like, oh, come the fuck on. However, if this was a room full of white men, it's very, very possible that
Yeah.
is what they decided to
Yeah.
call it. Right?
Yeah.
Belonging to the center of the bullseye. Yeah. And so we will be hearing from Target. They will be very sorry about not communicating effectively that they're still champions of DEI and that they will be maintaining their commitments to diversity. We're just going to call it hug a different colored stranger. No, that doesn't work. But okay, yeah, we'll use that.
I bet they would.
Oh, it's
about the amount of thought that goes into most of these things.
I am going to say there's been a lot of don't shop at Target, don't use Google, don't use Amazon, right? Because of billionaires saying stuff or capitulating to Trump. So sorry, I know we're not supposed to get political. This won't be political. This is. So I've been trying, but it's real hard not to shop at Target for some things. Right?
Yeah.
And I did try with Google. I was like, fuck you, Google. I'm going to delete the app. I'm going to change my default browser. So I went to DuckDuckGo, which was a very interesting experience because the return is different. And what I have learned is I am so finally like, Google just knows what I need and how I need to see it and what. And so I had to go back to Google because I found DuckDuckGo to be like, not
less
useful.
Targeted.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. There was a lot of stuff about the functionality that I liked. It's just, I had to dig a little too far to get to the information I was looking for on DuckDuckGo. Whereas with Google, it's on the first page. I never go to page 2 on Google. Don't need to. Right. Also, I'm lazy. That's an extra button to hit. So that's that.
Right. Oh, that's that. I think that's that. That's it for us this week, I suspect. I don't have anything else to add. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week ahead whenever we publish this podcast episode.
What are we doing? Who are we?
Who are we? So stay cool, cucumbers.
And don't trip potato chip. It's not you, potato chip. Jeez.
Don't trip on a potato chip.
You think I could get the line I stole from you right?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Apologies Accepted, the podcast.
You can find links to the articles and the sources in the show notes.
To submit an apology or find out more, visit us at apologiesaccepted.net, where you can also find our merchandise.
We're on Twitter at Apologies Accepted. And
on Instagram at apologies.accepted.
You can support our important work at Patreon/Apologies Accepted.
And fuck Facebook.
Bye.
Bye.